Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of Studio 7 Podcast, an audio and visual podcast that gives you inside scoop on our guests and modern day lifestyle. My name is Hassan Khalid.
All right, my name is Abdullah, and welcome to another episode of Studio 7. We wanted to share two big announcements with you guys. First of all, we have reached a global audience. We are being listened on over 12 countries. So, thank you, everyone who listens to our podcast and support us. And secondly, we had this small project going on, which we will give detail in some other episode. But today's episode, we will focus on the one big issue in Pakistan, and that the one issue that needs to be addressed. So for this purpose, we have invited a guest. Okay, guys. So today we have an amazing guest, and she's very spoken, and she's also a public speaker, and now she is a business development manager at LUMS. So we invited her to talk about the social issue and herself. So please, please can you introduce yourself?
Hi Abdullah, hi Hassan. My name is Samoon Ahsan and I'm an engineer by profession. I recently started working at LUMS. Today was actually my first day. Um, just completed my master's from Queen Mary University and looking forward towards having an amazing year at LUMS. It's a good experience. It's a very exciting opportunity. Actually, it's a surprise to me that they selected me because I had this impression that in order to get a job in Pakistan, you need to have certain links, and it made sense to me. Even in England, we call it networking, and that's how you get a job. But I just applied at LUMS when I heard about the position. I thought, why not give it a try? And to my surprise, they actually hired me, and that too without me having any absolute zero link at LUM. So till now, it's like a shock to me. It's a pleasant surprise, and I'm getting used to it. And I'm very happy to have this opportunity and looking forward towards working at LUMS.
First of all, congratulations, and that's
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
just coming towards the agenda of the podcast, which was actually the women impression and the recent cases that was surging of rape. As a woman, tell me, what do you think that have been the root cause of these issues that have been ongoing in Pakistan for quite a long time?
I believe that in Pakistan, the entire society it revolves around men. I mean, women do have hold at houses, and they are the ones who are actually upbringing the child, and they're the ones who are shaping the minds. But I strongly believe that it's a male dominating society. Um, the entire subcontinent, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, we are behind West, and it's unfortunate, it's sad that till now we do not have equal rights. I mean, I am aware that even in USA the pay scale is not the same,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, if we forget about the pay scale and the opportunities, because of course we lag there as well, but on basic ground level, even when you think about you and your brother at home, there is a different level at which your parents might treat you. I mean, fortunately, I come from a forces background where I was given equal opportunities, or I might add sometimes more opportunities than my brother. But I know I have my friends from civil, and even in some families and forces, the discrimination starts from within home. Even your mother differentiates between a son and a daughter. What to talk about your father? And as a whole, I feel like the society is getting unsafe for women. I used to feel unsafe even when I was, you can say, in ninth or 10th grade. Even then when I used to go to market, I was always irritated by men staring at me no matter what I am wearing. And it used to piss me off so much that at one point I decided not to even go out But then I realized that it's not going to change anyways. So I decided to dress modestly. That didn't change. So growing up, I've seen that men in Pakistan, not all men, but I must add some of them are very supporting. I have a very supporting husband, but majority men in Pakistan, they they have this image of women in their mind where they think that they have a hold on us, on our thinking, on our choices, on our dressing. I mean, it starts at home and it goes beyond. I feel that now, unfortunately, it's getting more unsafe. And I live in Lahore, and my father is retired now, and I'm living in DHA. And when I heard about this incident, the motorway link road incident of a woman being gang raped in front of her kids, it shook me. And when I when I actually read in detail about that incident, she was actually leaving from DHA right where I live. So she actually left from DHA, and I live in DHA as well. So basically, that was a hit. And then thinking that I also drive alone, and I might find myself in that kind of troublesome situation, it was very unfortunate, and I got goosebumps. And that particular day, I got my brother, my husband, and my father separately asking me not to go out at night because they were so concerned. They actually requested me that please take us along. Whatever
Mhm.
precautions they could give,
Yeah, yeah.
they were telling me, and I could see the fear in their eyes. And even a part of them were apologizing to me that I'm sorry that we don't want to put you in restrictions, but that's how the situation has gotten in Pakistan. And when I think about that particular mother, she was so unfortunate. I mean, I do realize that multiple unfortunate incidences happened to her. Like, she ran out of petrol, and then she did all the right steps. I mean, she shared the location, she informed her family, she called the police. I don't know what happened, but this entire case was mishandled, and she was raped in front of her children, for crying out loud. And I think the scar she has, it will stay there forever. She will, inshallah, heal out of it, but the children will never get out of this trauma, and she herself will never forget that night. It's so
Yeah.
scary.
Absolutely.
It feels like you can be the next one, basically.
Absolutely. So let's just reflect upon how let's go back to the history uh, where we all know we've studied in our books they were when uh, daughters were born, when they were even infant, like they were buried just so because it wasn't really a pride of a thing. So let's just go back to where it all started. Obviously, we've come a long way. There's a lot of countries that have changed laws and whatnot. They can somehow or the other these things still manage to happen. और
Yes.
पाकिस्तान is just like Pakistan is out of questions. अभी तो मैं पाकिस्तान की बात भी नहीं कर रहा. Let's just talk. I was just scrolling through my Facebook the other day, and I came across this. I don't know if you guys have come across it or not. So there was this guy in rural India, just to
Hmm.
check the gender of his unborn child. He he ripped the stomach of his wife just to see if it
Oh
was a boy
my
or a girl.
God.
I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. It has become a
Oh my
controversy, a
God.
huge controversy now. Uh, so
I
I
haven't I
was just
haven't seen it, but it's sickening to even hear.
exactly, and the fact that अच्छा अभी तो चलो rape is let's get there as well. लेकिन starting from these cultural मैं cultural भी नहीं कह सकता क्योंकि no religion teaches such acts. Literally no religion.
Exactly.
तो
Yeah,
मुझे
that's
तो नहीं
true.
पता कि यानी where this comes from.
यार ये अगर मैं आपको एक सिंपल वर्ड में बोलूँ ना, इसे ये जाहिलियत है। ये दिस इज बिकॉज majority of our population in India and in Pakistan अनपढ़ हैं। जब बंदा अनपढ़ होता है तो ही वो इस तरह की हरकतें कर सकता है कि to just to know the gender of the unborn child, rip the stomach off of his wife. I mean, you're the protector and you're doing this.
Exactly, and a similar case comes out the next day कि अच्छा एक और इंडिया के गांव में एक बिल्कुल ऐसी चीज ही हुई थी और right now अभी तो चलो we're just here, we just know कि अच्छा this has happened, इसको थोड़ी media coverage दे दी है, लेकिन what happens behind closed doors is unknown.
Oof.
तो I'm just trying to evaluate कि यानी इसमें कल्चर कहाँ से आता है, फिर just like you said कि it's about literacy as well. So I guess even in this literate world, I have this friend. I'm not sure if you've seen this. कि वो Abdullah, there was a guy named Ibsham. I don't know, whatever. It was all over the internet the other day. So she was actually a friend of friend. So she was being blackmailed by this guy who was like really rich.
I've heard of the
हाँ और
guy's part. वही वाला
the Balochi guy, I guess.
हाँ तो और ऊपर से they consulted some lawyers as well because since he was rich, he managed to buy them and did whatever he
Hassan,
wanted to
is he
do.
the one who was saying कि मैं देखता हूँ जुडिशरी क्या करती है और मैं देखता हूँ
Exactly.
oh my god.
Punjabi में बोल रहा था तो I didn't really understand, लेकिन that's what he wanted. So what I'm trying to say is कि अब educated तो वो भी है, लेकिन it still exists. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that this thing is deeply rooted. It goes back, जिस तरह आप बोल रहे हो कि it goes way back. अगर मैं आपको in simple words बताऊं, सही है, जो एक uneducated बंदा है, उसके पास तो obviously उसको हम बोल सकते हैं कि यार उसको पता ही नहीं है, doesn't know कि a woman can do everything. By everything I mean mentally she can do everything. It's not about physical strength here, what a man can do, right? Of course, Allah has created us in different ways and there are physical differences, but apart from that, this is not the time, this is not a physical era. You achieve whatever you want to achieve through your mind. So a woman can do everything which a man can do. ठीक है, हम एक benefit of doubt दे सकते हैं एक uneducated बंदे को, और फिर हमारी problems जो हैं वो even मतलब it's not related. आज when I was having one of the meetings और हम technology से related बात कर रहे थे, we were thinking that our problems are so much different from West, even when we think about technology, because we do not have the finances. अब हम education की बात करते हैं, say of course our government is poor, we don't have the finances, people themselves cannot support education. ये सारा चलो गरीब आदमी को तो you give this edge. You don't have the money. Maybe when you had the money, you could have gotten the education. Maybe if you had the education, आपका थोड़ा दिमाग जो है वो broaden होता. But when you talk about educated people, it's sickening to hear that they do feel that they're superior. They do feel that they're superior. और वो superiority complex जो है वो उनसे ये सारी basically हरकतें करवाता है. I have seen actually guys who are mashallah so educated, earning so well, but they have this thinking that we cannot let our wives or our sisters go and do a job because कैसे वो घर से बाहर जा सकती है, कैसे वो काम कर सकती है. ये जो थिंकिंग है, ये जो हम ना हर बात पे जो है फिर हम जो है ना बहुत ज़्यादा रिलीजन को लेके प्रोटेक्टिव हो जाते हैं. लेकिन अगर हम रिलीजन की बात करें तो इस्लाम ने तो हर राइट दी औरत को. से आई एम नॉट अ स्कॉलर, आई एम नॉट अ रिलीजियस स्कॉलर एंड शेमफुली आई डोंट नो इन डिटेल्स. सही है, मुझे अपने रिलीजन के बारे में और डिटेल्स में पता होना चाहिए, लेकिन the little I know that in eyes of Allah, men and women are equal. And apart from the physical differences, they're supposed to be treated equally. लेकिन हमारे जो religious scholars हैं वही खराब हैं वो, और फिर हम religion के नाम पर क्या कुछ नहीं बोल देते. और यार ये चीज जो है ना, ये चेंज होने के लिए घर से जो है ना काम स्टार्ट होना चाहिए. योर मदर एंड योर फादर नीड्स टू ट्रीट देयर ऑफस्प्रिंग्स इक्वली, और उसके बाद
Exactly.
ये चेंज स्टार्ट होती है. ये घर जब तक बिहाइंड द क्लोज डोर्स, आपने एक और उसमें केस में मेंशन किया था, बट दिस अप्लाइज हियर एज वेल. बिहाइंड द क्लोज डोर व्हाट हैपेंस, दैट नीड्स टू बी चेंज्ड. How your spouse treats you, how your parents treats you, how a father treats his daughter, ये चीजें बहुत मैटर करती हैं. जब आपको घर से कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं मिलता, जब घर से ही आपको बात बात पे ये बेसिकली एहसास दिलाया जाता है कि यू यू आर नथिंग, वो उस तरह की लड़की जब घर से बाहर निकलती है, सही है, उसका कॉन्फिडेंस वैसे ही शैटर्ड होता है. और ये चीज जो है ये नहीं चेंज हो सकती जब तक हमारे घर के जो मर्द हैं, सही है, वो इस बात को रियलाइज नहीं कर लेते कि अगर बेटी आपकी हो गई है तो इट्स ओके, कुछ कुछ कोई कहर नहीं आ गया आपके ऊपर. हमारे यहाँ एक ऑब्सेशन है टू हैव सन्स. आप जो बात कर रहे थे कि वो जेंडर, इंडिया में एक बंदे ने अपना अनबॉर्न चाइल्ड का जेंडर चेक, ही वाज ऑब्सेस्ड टू हैव अ सन, दैट इज व्हाई ही वांटेड टू नो द जेंडर. ये जो ऑब्सेशन है, ये मुझे हमारे इसके अंदर मुल्क के अंदर समझ में नहीं आती. बिकॉज अगर हम रिलीजन की बात करें तो बेटियों को तो रहमत कहा गया है, लेकिन हम वी आर अ मिक्स. हम जो है ना वो कल्चरल जो हमारा जो सब कॉन्टिनेंट कल्चर है और जो हमारा रिलीजन है, और हमने ना एक अजीब सा मिक्सचर बना लिया है हर एक चीज का. जब हमारा रिलीजन थोड़ा सा हमें गलत करने की कोशिश करता है तो हम कहते नहीं हमारी सोसाइटी में तो ऐसे होता है. सोसाइटी जब हमें थोड़ा सा ठीक करने की कोशिश करती है तो हम कहते हैं कि नहीं हमारे तो मजहब में ऐसा नहीं है. ये चीज नहीं चेंज हो सकती
Absolutely.
जब तक जो है आपकी आपकी अपनी सोच जो है वो आपको इस चीज का लिटरली बाय ऑल मीन्स आप इस बात को इस एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर लेते कि कोई मसला नहीं है अगर मेरी बेटी हो गई है. शी विल हैंडल एवरीथिंग एज माई सन विल हैंडल. और ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या हो जाएगा ज्यादा से ज्यादा, ठीक है. आजकल तो ये भी ट्रेंड नहीं है कि आप भर भर के जहेज दो. लोगों को ये ऑब्सेशन होता है कि बाय द टाइम शादी का टाइम आएगा, ये जो शादी का टाइम आएगा और उस टाइम पे जो आपको डाउरी की लिस्ट पकड़ा दी जाएगी, दीज आर ऑल सोसाइटल बुलशिट्स. दिस इज नॉट इन इस्लाम. ये सारा कुछ जो है ये हमारे सोसाइटी का क्रिएट किया गया है, वह ये सोसाइटी ही की क्रिएट किए हुए हर्डल्स हैं. then they cannot change until and unless आप ये दिल से नहीं सोच लेंगे और अपने दिमाग में नहीं बिठा लेंगे कि मेरी बेटी या मेरी बीवी या मेरी any female relationship you have in your life, आप अपने ज़हन में जब तक ये नहीं बिठा लेंगे कि यार they are equals, तब तक nothing can change. and ये जो frustration और ये जो हवस है आदमियों के अंदर जो कि रेप पे ये उतर आए हैं, अल्लाह माफ करे, इसका कोई सलूशन नहीं है. इसका कोई सलूशन नहीं है. they have to be punished and they have to be punished hard. Otherwise ये जो ट्रेंड बनता जा रहा है, it is so scaring. if I share it with you guys, it is so scaring for मैं I was obsessed of going out at night. जैसे रात को 10-11 बनते हैं, I always wanted to go out, do ये कहीं थोड़ा सा क्रूज पे निकल जाऊं. जब से ये इंसिडेंट हुआ है, I do not even want to go out. मैं आवाज सुनती हूँ खिड़कियों से. टू बी ऑनेस्ट विद यू गाइस, ये रात को जब मुझे गाड़ियों की या बाइक्स की या पुलिस के सायरन की आवाज, इट स्केयर्स मी. मैं तो बाहर जाना ही नहीं चाहती अब. व्हाट टू टॉक अबाउट कि मैं घर से पूछूं और मैं जाऊं. आई डोंट इवन वांट टू गो आउट एट नाइट बिकॉज इतना स्केरी माहौल होता जा रहा है, स्पेशली for a woman. I know कि not all men are bad, and when they think about all of these relations in their life, उनको भी डर लगता होगा. लेकिन as a woman, it's very scary. It's very scary and it's getting scarier day by day. Day by day. और इंडिया से हम कुछ अच्छा नहीं अडेप्ट करते, हम सिर्फ वहां से उनकी बुराइयां जो है वो अडेप्ट किए जा रहे हैं, किए जा रहे हैं, किए जा रहे हैं.
Yeah,
आई मीन देयर
exactly.
सो कितना आगे है वो हमसे टेक में. ठीक है, वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट दिस फैक्ट कि दे आर डूइंग सो मच, बट वी डोंट फॉलो दैट. हम
Yeah.
उनकी गलत चीजों को फॉलो करते हैं और उनकी गलत चीजों का ट्रेंड लेते हैं.
Okay, so one thing that pisses me off is actually when these cases of women oppression, of rape, or any other bad social issues emerge, people just start comparing it with other countries. Like, I don't get this. If something bad is happening in your society, what's the point of comparing it? People will compare like Pakistan में फिर भी कम होते हैं, India में फिर भी ज़्यादा हैं, even US होते हैं. Like, I don't get the mentality. Why is that in our society? If there's
मुझे तो लगता है इक्वली होते हैं यार. ये नहीं होता कि पाकिस्तान में कम होते हैं, इंडिया में कम होते हैं. बस जो जिसको मीडिया अटेंशन मिल गई है बस उसको मिल गई है. अब गॉड नोस कितनी अमाउंट में हो रहे हैं, तो दैट्स क्वाइट मेस्ड अप कि यानी नंबर्स डिफरेंट हैं या ये वो.
But
Yeah.
I get the question कि comparison किस चीज का है.
Yeah, exactly.
I have, to be honest, I have no idea. We are actually, instead of fixing our problems, we always try to find a solution to get away with it.
Exactly.
And this actually feels like an easier way to say that, you know, we're still better than India. We have this obsession of being better than India. So like, okay, we're still better than India. And you know, West has so many problems. So yeah, it's if even if it's happening, I mean, I get that no nation is perfect. If I share with you guys, when I was in London, there was this trend of stabbing. So whenever I used to go back home, I was sharing this with my husband that I never used to tell you this because, you know, I was scared that maybe you'll say that, okay, then don't go to university if it's so scary out there. But because he was in Pakistan and I was in London, but there was this trend of stabbing and of, of stabbing female students and male students. It was unsafe for any of the gender. So I
Wow,
know,
like in
I get
London.
it. Like in London, can you imagine? And I didn't used to feel safe when I used to leave my campus and go to the train station. Even at times my dad used to be okay with me coming home late because he was like, she's in London, she'll be safe. There is a good transport system. I mean, she knows her way around and she's a smart girl and she'll be okay. But I never used to tell him or my brother that I'm actually scared. Hamza used to call me at times because he knows he's at university as well. He was studying at King's College by the time I was studying at Queen Mary. He used to call me and say that, you know, take the bus, don't walk to the train station because even in my hostel at not I was not living in the hostel, but at Queen Mary hostel, two of the students were murdered, and it was a mystery like how they were murdered, but they were murdered. And so it's unsafe everywhere. So I get when people say that things are happening in West, but at the same time you can never get out with this. It's not a free card. If something is happening in West, and if you're comparing it with what's happening here, it doesn't give you the
The
getaway
solution.
card.
Yeah. Like, it's just an
it,
excuse of just saying,
ये कोई
तो हम क्या
एक्सक्यूज
कर
नहीं है
सकते हैं?
यार.
Yeah.
हाँ, तो हम क्या ये यहाँ पे जो रेप केसेस हो रहे हैं, ये जो आजकल ट्रेंड चल रहा है, ये कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है उन प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ जो वहां पे हो रहे हैं. बिकॉज लेट मी टेल यू वन थिंग, इफ समथिंग स्टार्ट्स हैपनिंग देयर, people react, and they react in such a harsh way that a change is bound to come. इसी तरह से पाकिस्तान में ऑफ कोर्स मैंने देखा है. अब मैं पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर पाई इन प्रोटेस्ट के अंदर जो हुए हैं, लेकिन लोगों ने प्रोटेस्ट निकाले हैं. एंड आई एम होपफुल कि पीटीआई की गवर्नमेंट है. आई हैव अ फर्म बिलीव ऑन इमरान खान. आई डू नॉट हैव बिलीव ऑन एनीबडी एल्स, no matter any other party. I have a belief that if Imran Khan is there, he'll do something positive for the country. और मुझे उम्मीद है कि कुछ चेंजेस आएंगे. लेकिन ये हमारा गेट अवे कार्ड जो है ना, कि इंडिया में भी तो हो रहा है, वेस्ट में भी हो रहा है, यार ये कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं है. प्रॉब्लम्स को एक्नॉलेज करना जो है ना वो हमें सीखना चाहिए. एक्नॉलेजमेंट जो है जब तक नहीं आएगी तब तक सोल्यूशंस नहीं आ सकते.
Yeah.
ये भी सोल्यूशन नहीं है कि आप अपनी अपनी घर पे औरतों को जो है ना वो घर बिठा लें. ये भी सोल्यूशन नहीं है बिकॉज लोग लोग घरों का दरवाजा तोड़ तोड़ के ये हरकतें करना शुरू हो जाएंगे. तब आप क्या करेंगे?
Like we can see गाड़ी से निकाल के, like what's
गाड़ी से निकाल के.
yeah, so I
एग्जैक्टली.
don't
शी
think
वाज नॉट. हाँ, शी वाज नॉट एट मूवीज. यहाँ वो
yeah,
दोस्तों के साथ कुछ चिल नहीं कर रही थी.
like that these things disturb me the most. Like no
एग्जैक्टली.
where should a woman go? Like I have a mother, but it happens to me. Like I don't understand why we males. I understand that this is a problem concerning with males, and it has to do with something with the instinct of power. Like we just need someone to exalt our power on them. So I see like the solution which I see is actually we have to teach our generation about the equality, like we because the life in front
जी
of
पता
us, yeah.
है. I was saying that आप जिस तरह से कह रहे हो कि we need to actually teach the current generation. There is a change. A change is coming, but it's very slow. It's very
Mhm.
slow. Change आ रहा है
Absolutely,
पर बहुत slow है.
Like the changes in
absolutely.
our education or reforms that took place actually जो उसका effect आता है वो सारा like after 20 or 30 years आता है जब that generation comes into the
Exactly.
workplace in the society and take over the society. So it's a slow process, but we have to keep our faiths there, and we should trust the process as well, and like just don't allow or encourage. Like I know some of the males and boys do encourage harassments or sort of suppression of on women in in the university age as well. So I think we should also take a stand in this regard.
Absolutely. Acha, I wanted
Definitely.
to talk about, Abdullah, you talked about how we need to add this into our curriculum. So let's just talk about the CCP Lahore.
Oh God,
He is
please don't
he
get me
is a
started.
he is a 19. वैसे CCP हो गया 18 या 19 ग्रेड का ऑफिसर होगा ना.
हाँ बिल्कुल
तो
बिल्कुल हाँ.
होगा तो obviously उसने how did he get there? Like first thing is like how did you get there, and how are you saying such a thing कि यानी are you not educated? Again the thing comes again कि अच्छा education is not something that can it will eventually bring about a change, लेकिन it's just the mindset that goes around. Like for me personally, when I was in Egypt, so there was people whenever we used to go by a busy street. So I had my mom and my sister with me, and they used to call names of उनका एक तरीका था कि अगर एक मिठाई का नाम लेके तो यानी वो बड़ा कोई एक औरत को बड़ा इसको कहते हैं ना फ्लर्ट करें या ऐसा कुछ. तो they used to say that stuff. लेकिन I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about how कि एक 19 grade officer is defending himself. I don't even know who he's defending. He's saying that
He's defending the entire police system.
Yeah.
exactly. और ऊपर से what came to my sense is that he shouldn't be defending. वो उसका काम है. You're the police. It's your job to look into the crime, not to the circumstances that the woman was in. ये ना बताओ कि
Exactly.
भाई पेट्रोल आप डलवा लो. नहीं.
कौन सा रूट ले लो कौन सा रूट नहीं लो.
Absolutely. So that's something I want to know. कि अच्छा you're such a qualified officer. God knows how he got there. मुझे खुद नहीं पता. तो obviously कोई stages तो होंगी कोई 18th और 19th grade तक जाने की, लेकिन
Exactly.
it's just beyond comprehensible कि how he got there.
Hassan, आपकी बात को ऐड करते हुए I like to tell you that I met an accident. Abdullah knows about it because we were
Yeah.
neighbors at that time. So आपको पता होगा अब्दुल्ला कि मेरा फ्रैक्चर हुआ था बाजू. ठीक है. So I was treated. I was at that time being treated by a brigadier, and now he's a journal. So I remember towards the final stages, जब मेरा बाजू बिल्कुल ठीक हो गया था and I was going through the physical therapy. So I wanted to join the gym. So not at that point, of course. I wanted to join the gym in the near future. So I was asking uncle, I won't take his name. I was asking uncle that how soon can I lift the weights and how soon can I join the gym. So he looked at me and then he looked towards my parents and said कि ये लड़की है, इसको आप किचन चिचन के काम सिखाएं, आपने इसके ज़हन में ये कैसे डाल दिया कि ये जिम जाएगी, जिम जाकर एक्सरसाइज करेगी, जिम
Oh,
जाके वेट उठाएगी. ये तो सारे लड़कों के मशकिलें हैं, लड़कों के शौक हैं. आप बेटा ऐसा करो कि you're about the age of getting married, ऐसा करो, just learn something in the kitchen. So
right.
can you imagine? He was a brigadier, now he's a journal. So can you imagine कि Fauj Sayed, which is way better than any other system in Pakistan right now. अगर उधर का 19th to 20th grade officer ये बात करे आपसे तो क्या thinking होगी उसकी? क्या
Exactly.
वो क्या वो educated नहीं है? I mean क्या वो अपनी बेटियों को भी ऐसे ही कहता होगा? I mean luckily मतलब उनका मेरे ऊपर कोई होल्ड तो नहीं है, ये तो उनकी एक ओपिनियन थी जो उन्होंने मेरे ऊपर एम्बुश कर दी
Mm-hmm.
और हमने एक कान से सुन के दूसरे कान से निकाल दी and it made me laugh and I got pissed at him at the same time, but of course I couldn't say anything to him because of course he was even senior than my father. I couldn't say anything, but I'm just trying to say that this is a thinking.
This is the
This is
reality.
this is the reality. ये ground reality है, चाहे अब हम इसको जिस तरह मर्जी तरीके से cater करें, ये it needs to start from home. बचपन से
Yeah.
लड़के रोते नहीं है, लड़के ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट होते हैं, उनकी इमोशंस नहीं होती है, वहां से चीज स्टार्ट होती है, इमोशनलेस कर दिए जाते हैं उनको और उनको एक तरह से ये ना बचपन से चीज उनके दिमाग में इनग्रेव कर दी जाती है दैट यू
You were
स्ट्रॉन्गर एंड यू
yeah,
सुपीरियर.
exactly. So I just talked about the reforms. I think the reforms that took place in the 1980s with our education system has brought more of a conservative society that we are living in now. And when we see these people on these high posts, these were actually the people, the students back then, right? So they just moved through that process, which
Exactly.
fed in that mind that whatever happened in Pakistan during the 70s to 80s, that's the actual result of our education system. So I know it's really hard to be now as a woman living in our society. So, Samoon, what do you think? Like, what's the future there? You've got, I mean, an amazing job right now. So, so tell me about yourself. Like, how you're gonna move forward with all of this?
Abdullah, right now I'm excited and I am looking forward to work really hard and actually do this job really well. I wasn't sure that something of this um, good magnitude is happening in Pakistan in terms of technology. When I was studying in London, I studied communications at a whole different level, and I wanted to actually come back to Pakistan and find a job which actually caters those kind of interest of
Mm-hmm.
mine. But unfortunately all of these jobs which I was applying to and the ones which I was offered and the ones which were not offered to me, all of them were very conventional. But when I applied at LUMS, of course it's LUMS, they think out of the box, they're ahead of every other organization in Pakistan. And this post and the work they're doing, it is extremely fascinating.
Uh,
All of the
yeah. So
Yes, Abdullah.
could you tell us more about the technology that you're working on?
Yes. So basically, it's a new concept. It's not a new concept, but right now, for a layman, it's a new concept which is known as IoT, Internet of Things. What
Hmm.
Internet of Things proposes, आप लोगों ने शायद सुना ही होगा. What Internet of Things proposes is everything in the near future will be smart. By
Yeah.
smart, I mean everything will have its own IP address and it will have internet connectivity. It will be connected via network. So internet is basically a network of networks. And when we talk about networks and when we talk about Internet of Things, one thing which comes through in our mind is latency. Latency is and throughput. So latency is basically the delay, and throughput is basically the speed. We want the fifth generation, the 5G. We know that we're using 4G right now. 4G LTE is being serviced in Pakistan.
Yeah, yeah.
So when we move towards 5G, and the world has moved towards 5G, the goal was to have a network which has low latency and high throughput. But what I'm trying to say is
Mm-hmm.
it should have high speed and it should have lowest delay possible. And when you move towards IoT, Internet of Things, and 5G is related, we need to create a network which is energy efficient and in which every device can have its own IP address and can be battery efficient, because we do not want to overcharge our sensors. We do not want to replace them because it's going to be a complex structure. So replacing one sensor and recharging the battery of that sensor is can be a big hassle. So at LUMS, what this lab, this National Center lab, what they're doing is they're talking about edge computing. Edge computing basically means that bringing the network closer to you. So as a user, for me, I'll have a very low latency and high throughput when I have the network closer to me. But it's not that easy. Of course, it comes with its own challenges. The network itself is very complex. We need to have those enabling technologies. So fortunately for me, my final year project of masters at Queen Mary was very similar to what they're doing, and I understand where they're right now, and we're proceeding forward towards actually doing this, implementing these smart changes in Pakistan. So one of the projects which I might share, I had discussed in the meeting today, was about smart geysers. And one of my boss was telling me that they're working with this company which is known as Zaheen Machine, and they're building smart geysers in which the geyser will actually turn on and turn off through your mobile phone app. So
Mm-hmm.
you do not need to go out and turn off the
Wow.
geyser or turn it on. You can do it by the help of your mobile phone. And right now they're actually also working on how to turn on the pilot of the geyser through your mobile phone and not
Wow.
go physically out and do that. So it's
I
very
wish I could do that.
fascinating. Yes, I wish that too. Multiple times I have to take shower and it's pretty cold, and I know I have to go out and turn on the
Yeah,
geyser.
especially in the
So
winters.
especially in the
The
winters, and there
winter
is
is
gas.
coming.
Exactly, and there is gas load shedding as well. So it also tackles that because it saves the gas. So it's all about having everything smart. So when I talk about smart, you can also have a
Yep.
smart fridge where you can be in your office and you can be changing the temperature of your fridge. You can have a smart purse where you can, through your mobile phone, actually put something in your purse with the help of AI. So it's exciting, it's new, and it's exciting. And in order to have a network of this much high magnitude, a lot of complexity comes in, and we're working in the technologies that can cater those complexities basically. So yes.
Okay,
Amazing.
so one last question. We really have time, so I'll be really quick with this. So since we're talking about the corporate world, so let's try to link it with today's agenda. So me and Abdullah, we're in the same course in the semester. So we've studied in marketing, in management in general, how the protection or safety policies towards, especially towards women in the corporate world, has changed now. Now that it's become a major issue. Lekin, what came to my mind right now is that mostly the cases around the world and as well as in Pakistan are that mostly the ones on higher posts actually you actually take the wrong advantage of their
Exactly.
authority, or obviously there's someone who's at a lower post as you feel, at least I don't feel like that, but someone with such mindset would feel कि अच्छा I have the utmost control over him or her. So he would think it's like the perfect time to do something to her, make her uncomfortable, or do all that nasty stuff. So I'm not really getting into that. Like it's just that कि मुझे समझ नहीं आती कि how we're going to take that mentality out of the entire thing, क्योंकि अब जो कोड ऑफ कॉन्डक्ट वगैरह होते हैं वो तो सारे एक लिस्टेड होते हैं कंपनी में, लेकिन let's just say कि there's like a CEO or someone who owns the company, or फिर there's a subordinate at a much lower post, or फिर they go through something like that. So how do you think we can bring about a change to change this type of stereotype or whatever this is?
I think that in order to actually stand against your senior, even if that person is only one rank higher than you, you need to have you need to have someone where you can report the harassment to, and you are sure that they're going to take action towards that. And sometimes you need to face the reality. You might lose your job. So sometimes you need to face the reality that you might lose your job. I mean, that particular senior might not, hand over those good tasks to you anymore. But we as women need to draw a line that we will not tolerate this anymore. And if that costs us our job, so be it. But we will
Absolutely.
report that. We will report that. We will report harassment, because I have seen my peers going through it and just actually letting it go for the sake of convenience, because खत्म हो रहा है अब तो सेमेस्टर, अब तो बस डिग्री भी खत्म होने वाली है, अब क्या उस प्रोफेसर से पंगा
Yeah,
करना, और अगर जॉब कल्चर हो तो यार वो मेरा सीनियर है, अगर मैं अब उसके अगेंस्ट चली जाऊं तो बस कोई नहीं, और यार वी हैव टू गेट आउट ऑफ दिस विशियस साइकिल.
absolutely.
Because yeah, because this actually because by this you're actually feeding the predator. If
Hmm.
you're not standing up, तो फिर वो किसी और के साथ भी ये करेगा. So you
Exactly.
actually have
And
to stand up अपने लिए भी और बाकियों के लिए भी.
yep, that's what I'm saying. कि not many women are vocal about it, क्योंकि apparently क्योंकि वो जो आपने पहले बात की कि at home they're not felt safe, कि यानी उनको पहले ही इतनी
Confidence.
मुश्किल से, हाँ, कॉन्फिडेंस एग्जैक्टली, कि इजाज़त मिलती है बाहर जाने की, और ऊपर से वो इस तरह कुछ कहें तो वैसे ही उनके लिए सब कुछ खत्म हो जाएगा. So that is about it for this episode. Thank you so much, Samoon, for being here, and we totally loved the chat or the overall thing. So thank you so much, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, as that's where our episodes are uploaded first. Don't forget to log into our Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, as well as Instagram. That is all from my side. This is me, Hassan Khalid, signing off.
Okay, so Samoon, I just wanted to ask you one thing. The project that you're working on, Internet of Things, is this something
Yes.
that you guys can develop regarding the safety of women? Like there might be a bracelet or a belt that can send you a signal, or GPS tracking or something like that when their situation happens.
That's a very, 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 very valid question, Abdullah, and I think we should. Currently, since I recently joined, I mean, joined today, so I know that we're not working anything towards the safety of women, and we're not working towards creating any project. But I will definitely, pitch in this point, because we need to, and we have the platform, and if we can, then why not? We will definitely. It's a very good point, and I'll definitely do something about it.
Yeah. So, any last remarks you want to say?
I'm actually glad that I did this conversation with you guys. This chat, it was healthy, and we actually got to discuss some problems which we in a society are facing, all of us. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Abdullah and Hassan. And I'm looking forward towards listening to other episodes of your channel because it's a very good platform. You guys are very talented,
Thank you.
and keeping this kind of discussions is basically the utmost important step we need to take towards bringing a change. So you guys are doing your part. You guys are contributing, and very proud of you, both of you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, so that's all from my side as well. I will personally thank Samoon for joining us. Like at one side of society, you see such women impression, while other side of society, we have these amazing people who are working for better technology, for better future for Pakistan. I think every woman out there should play their role, and all the males should also play their role as a protector in a society. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, and any other podcast listening apps. Make sure to also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And for more updates, you can follow us on Instagram. Stay tuned. Peace out.